Well, evidently we are running, so let's go. Hello YouTube, this is Frater Ralph, and today I'm going to do a little video on cryptocurrency, specifically why I think cryptocurrency cannot help but succeed. And the reason I have a very optimistic outlook about Bitcoin and, well, maybe not Ethereum, but other cryptocurrencies out there. I think Ethereum will eventually recover, but cryptocurrency in general, they really are here to stay. And what really makes me think that cryptocurrencies can't help but succeed is when you take a look at the global world economy. Most people, when they think of the world economy, especially like 10 years ago, most people would tend to think that, or would want to think, that the world economy is a brick house. A house built out of solid brick, even gold brick, and that it was stable. The reality is that the world economy is not a house of brick. It's more or less a house of cards. And like we saw back in 2007, 2008, this house of cards can collapse at any time. And the main reason that our economy, our national economies and our global economy is in such a mess is world debt and the imbalance between global assets like fiat currencies and gold and silver and global debt. I was doing some reading online. Well, let's see, I've been reading up on this for the last few years. And back when the economy collapsed, back in 2007, people were saying this was inevitable because of the enormous world debt. Back then and even today, the asset to debt ratio is like there is 3 times more debt in the world than there are assets to pay that debt off. Which means if you took all of the gold, all of the silver, all of the diamonds, all the fiat currencies in the world, and put them all together, you still would not have enough tangible assets to pay off the world debt. Now, I ran across a website, I believe it was last year, that said, okay, this situation is bad, but it's not as bad as it may look. They were saying that if you included all the real estate on Earth and considered that to be a tangible asset, then the global real estate combined with all the fiat currencies and all the gold and all the silver and all the diamonds and all the jewels and everything else in the world would be enough to pay off the global debt. But in order to do that, according to that reasoning, you'd have to mortgage off the entire planet. And of course that raises a question, who's going to hold that mortgage? Mars, Jupiter, Venus, probably China, I don't know. But it's not a good situation to be in. And because we have such a imbalance between global debt and global assets, the next economic crash could come at any time. And, we survived 2007, that crash. I anticipate we'll survive the next crash. If nothing else, I'll go out in the garden and, dig up roots and tubers and we can survive off of that. But it's just not a very good situation. Now, enter Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. What value do they add to offset the global, the imbalance between global debt and global assets? Well, when it comes to things like gold and silver and diamonds, we can't go out and manufacture that stuff. I mean, maybe one day we will be able to alchemically turn lead into gold and find out a way to quickly turn coal into diamonds. But for the most part, I mean, we're stuck with what we have, the supply that we have here on the planet. And when it comes to fiat currencies, People are losing faith in fiat currency. We're seeing this happening now in China with their economic problems, in India with their economic problems. I was reading up the other day that there's a temple in India that's beginning to take Bitcoin contributions because you know, faith in the fiat currency there is just eroding. So what benefit does Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have in this environment of enormous debt and mistrust of fiat currency? Well, cryptocurrencies are an asset. Most people wouldn't tend to think of them as a tangible asset, but they are an asset that can be produced and created literally out of nothing, just out of out of the ether. And all you need is a developer and some people and some algorithms to make this work and put it all together, and have people putting their faith into these cryptocurrencies, and you can build up more tangible assets, which right now are not really enough to make a dent in the whole imbalance between global assets and global debts. But hey, every little bit helps. And I think as more cryptocurrencies are developed and more cryptocurrencies are being taken to heart by the general public, that these will become to be viewed as more assets that can help shore up the economic house of cards that we currently, have dealt to us by the banks and the governments and the corporations. Now, as cryptocurrencies become more popular and become more accepted, people will begin to see and begin to accept cryptocurrency as inevitable. I remember back in the beginning when Bitcoin was first introduced, reading up during that era, how the banks were trying to kill Bitcoin and how governments were looking at Bitcoin, suspiciously. And Bitcoin survived that era. And now we find ourselves in an era where the banks are adopting their own forms of cryptocurrency, called Ripple. And even the GOP was accepting donations in Bitcoin. And of course, at Temple in India, probably more than just one, probably several, are taking donations in Bitcoin. Soon, our Temple of the Infinite Universe, will be accepting donations in Bitcoin. I need to get working on that tonight. But Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are the wave of the future, partially because they are just so darn popular, partially because people are willing to put their trust in these currencies, and partially because, if you're going to be doing financial transactions on a global level, you need a currency that is going to make international commerce faster, quicker, easier. And of course, the blockchain technology does that. And an additional side effect is that every time a new cryptocurrency is developed, introduced, and accepted, that gives us one more asset that can be used to offset the imbalance between, global income and global debt. So I think it just cannot help but succeed. Yes, banks and governments and corporations are going to try to control it. That's just the nature of the beast. But they can't kill it. They tried that, well, about 10 years ago and failed. And I think they are accepting the inevitable, that cryptocurrency is here to stay, and they want their piece of the action just like everybody else. So yeah, they will not be able to kill cryptocurrencies. They will try to control it. Whether or not they succeed in that endeavor, well, kind of depends on all of us working together collectively. But when it comes to cryptocurrency in general, I have a very bright outlook for it. And that's why, in my own portfolio, I'm beginning to invest more and more in cryptocurrency and looking for ways to increase, my holdings in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies that I like. And to that end, I am going to conclude with a little plug for Genesis Mining. I've tried my hand at being a day trader, and my day trading skills right now are not very good. Of course, I've only been at it for about 6 months. But, sometimes I make good trades, a lot of times I make bad trades. I've been lucky to break even when it comes to day trading on Poloniex and other cryptocurrency exchanges. But one thing that I have been very successful at so far is mining with Genesis Mining. Genesis Mining has a lifetime Bitcoin mining contract that you can take advantage of. You can invest, I think the minimum is about $30, and that'll give you a little bit of mining power, and you can go up into the, I don't know how many thousands of dollars you can invest, and you can see daily returns on that investment. And the beauty of the lifetime Bitcoin mining contract is that it is going to remain in effect, not just for 1 or 2 years, but for as long as it is profitable for the company to be offering that contract, which is kind of a danger there too, because I'm assuming that Bitcoin is going to remain profitable for quite a few years to come. I may be wrong there, but I'm assuming that it will remain profitable. And I am also assuming that Genesis Mining is not going to cancel these contracts for at least, 3, 4, 5 years. But I might be wrong there too. So it is kind of a risk. But, right now I am invested in Genesis Mining, and I'm enjoying a daily income now of $2 per day. Okay, it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but you consider that that's $2 a day for the next year pays off what I have invested in Genesis Mining thus far. And then every year after that, that mining contract remains active, is just pure profit. And it's just something I feel good about. And if you would like to try it, I'm going to give you the web address in the program description, and also my affiliate code. And if you use that affiliate code, you get a 3% discount on every order that you make. And, I think it's a pretty good deal, but judge for yourself. So, cryptocurrency, it's definitely the wave of the future. Uh, the global economy needs it. The speed of global transaction requires it. It's something that is just another 10 years. I think people are going to be asking themselves, what did we do before Bitcoin? What did we do before these other cryptocurrencies? As I see it, they have nowhere to go but up. So that's the end of my presentation here. I'd like to thank all of you for subscribing. Thank you for all the likes. And another thank you to everybody that's been using my affiliate code on Genesis. I definitely appreciate that, because when you use that affiliate code, it saves you money, and it also helps to increase my own mining strength on the Genesis mining platform. And so thank you all for your likes and everything, and we will see you later around the internet. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.